who killed his parents, a sibling, a cousin, and a mason in Kiambu last week. Now.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Teenage life is supposed to be a time of exploration and self-discovery, where every day brings a mix of excitement and uncertainty. Well, at least that is how it should be in most cases. But in some cases, a teenager's life may be shaped by a combination of personal choices, external influences, and unforeseen events that can alter the course of their teenage years. What happens when the dark thoughts in their heads catch up with them? In January 2021, Lawrence Warunge, an IT student at Mount Kenya University, decided he was going to murder his entire family. Then he was going to go back to school like nothing ever happened. But not everything would go according to his horrible plan. A plan inspired by the psychopathic assassin Villanelle in a British TV series Killing Eve. I must warn you, this story is about to get pretty nasty. Today's story takes us all the way to Kiambu County, located in central Kenya, known for its large tea and coffee estates. It offers visitors a blend of natural beauty and cultural heritage, hosting tourist attractions such as the Karura Forest and the Kiambu Museum. Lawrence Warunge was born in 1998 to parents Nicholas Njorege and Wanjiku. He was their firstborn son and elder brother to Christian Njenga, his two sisters, and an adopted cousin Maxwell Njenga. And Nicholas, a medical practitioner couple, built a palatial home in which they brought up their happy family. Nicholas was based in the United States as his wife worked in Kiambu County, both having dedicated their lives to human service. The couple made sure to give their kids the best education by placing them in the best schools. This was not enough for Lawrence, who felt neglected during childhood and would often be mistreated by house helps and neighbors while his parents were busy at work, an aspect that would affect his self-esteem. In later statements, he adds that his father Nicholas was violent when drunk, would beat him, and never really appreciated his efforts. Lawrence was enrolled in a private school in Kiambu and would later join Pioneer School. At Pioneer School, Lawrence was known to be a fairly decent kid who was well-mannered. A former schoolmate said, "That boy was a polite, well-mannered chap. Hard to tell he had issues." In 2017, he joined Pacemaker International, an NGO that promotes education in rural and slum areas of Africa. Just like his parents, he was also dedicated to human service, something that saw him celebrated in that same year. According to the official page of the organization, they wrote, "He is enthusiastic, a critical thinker, and a creative." Meet Lawrence. This Pioneer School alumnus is inspired by stories of men and women who have surmounted great odds to make a life for themselves and the society they interact with. They continued, "His love for service and education in the lives of the young is the reason he joined PACE." With great appreciation from the teachers at ACK Karura Primary, this gentleman is set to leave a mark before he sets out to pursue his other passion, computer programming. Lawrence would later enroll at Mount Kenya University to pursue a degree in information technology. This is the moment when things are about to veer into even darker territory. Unknown to his parents, Lawrence was troubled. As days passed, he started hating his parents, and with each day that passed, a little more. At one point, he reported his mother to the police, twice, accusing her of trying to poison him and that she was involved in cult business. Lawrence joined the university, but unlike other students who juggled studies and side hustles, most of his free time was spent watching movies and TV series, a hobby that would ignite his troubled thoughts. Troubled thoughts that would remind him of his life at home as he was watching Killing Eve. Villanelle, The enigmatic assassin from Killing Eve is portrayed with a complex and mysterious background that shapes her character throughout the series. Her upbringing, though not extensively detailed, hints at tumultuous and likely traumatic past that has profoundly influenced her personality and behavior. From what is revealed, Villanelle's upbringing appears to be marked with instability, neglect, and possibly abuse. Experiences that have molded her into a highly skilled person but also emotionally detached, capable of committing acts of extreme violence without remorse. Lawrence felt like Villanelle's story resonated so well with his life. So, when the assassin decided to kill her mother, he got inspired, an inspiration that would lead to the death of 4 family members all in one day. Having made up his mind that he was going to kill his family, he only had one question: how is he going to commit these homicides unnoticed, just like Villanelle? Lawrence had no plan yet. All he knew was he wanted his family dead. In order to come up with a plan, he went shopping, hoping to find answers to his questions in crime books. The Eve of Murder and 8 Perfect Murders. With the books in his possession, he read through while carefully studying Villanelle's tricks on how she carried out her murders. He planned the murder for 3 months, during which he practiced how he would commit the horrendous act without being caught. Lawrence had revealed to his girlfriend Sarah Mathoni that he was about to do something that would give them a peaceful life, failing to provide the details. You see, Sarah Mathoni came from a poor background. She used to sell eggs and smokies in Thika town, so when approached by Lawrence with the intention to date her, she happily accepted with no idea of what Lawrence was planning this whole time, a plan that would put her in the biggest problem of her life yet. For Lawrence, Sarah was meant to check his alibi once his horrible plan went through. She would be the last piece of the puzzle. He asked her to rent a house in Maimahiu, which she did, having no idea that this would be Lawrence's HQ, through which he would use to actualize his plan. December 4th, 2020, Nicholas would board a plane back to Kenya from the States, looking forward to enjoy the festive season with his family. What he didn't know was that this would be his final flight home. For his wife and 4 kids, the excitement was insurmountable. However, the excitement lacked in his son Lawrence, who instead harbored a dark plan. Nicholas enjoyed the festive season, together with his family and friends, but throughout the period, his first son's only wish was to see them gone. On January 5th, 2021, Lawrence asked Sarah, his girlfriend, to buy him a knife in Thika. He also went ahead to buy a pair of trousers, a jacket, a lady's shoes, a piece of wig, and a female doll of which he later cut off the head. His plan was to attack disguised as a girl. From Thika, Lawrence proceeded to Nairobi's Central Business District, where he visited Uhuru Park and Holy Family Basilica Church. With fear that he might be searched at the church, he proceeded to Naiva's supermarket, where he deposited his luggage, which was in a red carrier bag, containing the things he bought plus the knife. He left the supermarket with the luggage tag and proceeded to church. At around 4 p.m., he boarded a vehicle home. On arriving home, he caught James Kinyanjui, their farmhand, unawares, picked up a metal bar and hit him at the back of the head several times before cutting his throat with the knife he had earlier on bought in Thika. He later claimed he decided to slit Kinyanjui's throat after he refused to die. Lawrence remained around the initial crime scene until 8 p.m. when his father drove home in a taxi. Shortly after, he scaled the perimeter wall, jumped into the compound, and proceeded to disconnect power from the main switch. At this point, there was no going back for Lawrence. While in the compound, he saw his mother in the kitchen. He knew what he had to do. He had some paraffin which he sprinkled on a green paper bag and set it on fire right outside the kitchen. This caught the attention of Ant, who came to check what was happening. Armed with a metal bar, Lawrence hit her on the head. The commotion outside caught the attention of young Maxwell, who ran outside, oblivious of the impending danger, but was also attacked. An injured Maxwell rushed back into the house and fell down to her death, right before the cruel gaze of her son. All this while, Nicholas, who was taking some beer in the bedroom upstairs, was unaware that his son was in the compound and he had already attacked, and after a while, he sensed some commotion and rushed down only to be met by a bloodied Lawrence armed with a knife. He ran back upwards as Lawrence followed him. Fearing for his life, he jumped from the bedroom balcony, injuring himself. As he tried to crawl towards the gate, Lawrence followed him and stabbed him 34 times, leaving his intestines out. He went back into the house, finished off Maxwell Mjenga, and then went room after room looking for Christian. Luckily enough, his two sisters had reported back to school a few days before. Lawrence found his younger brother Christian hiding under the bed in his room. He pleaded with him to spare his life, but Lawrence would hear none of that as he stabbed him and slit his throat. A colleague of James Kinyanjui, Steve Njehu, came from a drinking spree at around 9 p.m. and noticed that one of the curtains was blood-stained. He got in and found his colleague lying in a pool of blood on one of the mattresses in one of the rooms. He went to get the police, who, on covering the crime scene, failed to check the main house, assuming they were asleep. As the events unfolded, Lawrence was watching from his dad's bedroom, even as the police carried away the farmhand's body from the scene. After the police left, he switched on the electricity, showered, ate the food that his mother was preparing, and later sat down and watched a TV program as he drank his dad's Belozi beer. He slept in his father's bed until 4 a.m. when he woke up and hitchhiked on a bread delivery truck back to Maimahiu. While there, he burnt some of the clothes and mobile phones belonging to his parents, which he had collected from the house. 3 days later, Lawrence was arrested in connection to the killing. For years later, with numerous adjournments, procedural complications, and delays in the legal proceedings, the family is yet to find closure. The question still remains: could things have turned out differently had the family been aware of what was going on in Lawrence's mind? Hey, thanks for watching. Before you go, make sure you click the like and subscribe button to always be updated. Until next time, and always stay safe.